Well, good morning. The time being 9 a.m, I declare open the special budget meeting for the Gladstone Regional Council for the 20th of June 2023. I call for apologies, all are present, so there's no apologies. And we'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is the Mayor's budget overview. So as I said, good morning, everyone, my fellow councillors, council employees, members of the gallery, ladies and gentlemen, and of course the media as well, and those watching online. Today I'm proud to be here alongside my fellow councillors to hand down the Gladstone Regional Council's 2023-2024 budget, the $333 million budget and associated operational plan, the fourth for the current council term. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Baili, the Gurang, the Gurangarang and the Trabelang Bunda people, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people present or watching online via our live stream. This year we have chosen to continue our Proudly GRC theme, which focuses on our people and being proud of what we do and who we work for, our community. Our 2023-2024 budget details how Council will fund core services and the initiatives outlined in the operational plan. In the year ahead, 9 key initiatives will be delivered to enable Council's progress the goals outlined in our corporate plan and meet the needs of our community. This year's budget is backed by a $68.6 million capital works program that considers measures we need to take now to preserve the sustainability of the Gladstone region into the future. The 2023-2024 budget has been supported by a grant funding from both the state and federal governments totalling $64.2 million. This demonstrates Council's continued success in seeking specific funding via external sources, ensuring the ratepayer dollar is leveraging investment from the state and federal governments. From Council's total 2023-2024 budget, key spending includes, but not limited to, $103.5 million for roads, bridges, footpaths and drainage, $53.8 million for water services, $38.6 million for sewerage services, $26.5 million for waste services, $24.6 million for parks and environment, $9.7 million for arts, culture and entertainment, and $6.4 million for strategic projects. This year's budget has presented Council with a mix of unique challenges, current challenges and future opportunities. These challenges are related to the ever-increasing costs of goods and services that have been accelerated by generationally high inflation and the increase to cost to replace, maintain and repair key assets, particularly our water, waste and sewer networks. Supply chain issues have also existed. However, Council will ensure its work is procured and planned in a way that maintains and minimises potential material shortages. This budget presents Council, as I said, with an opportunity to deliver on an extensive road, bridge and drainage infrastructure throughout the region. These works have been made possible due to $33.7 million in funding received from the Australian and Queensland Government under the disaster recovery funding arrangements. It is work such as our upcoming roads projects and other infrastructure builds that will lead to future opportunities that this budget presents for our region. An increase in external funding to Council will provide us with an opportunity to deliver generational community infrastructure for our region. An example of this infrastructure is the Boyne-Tanham Aquatic Recreation Centre. This year, Council is investing in the completion of the detailed design for this highly anticipated community facility, set to be located at Lot 900 on Coronation Drive in Tanham Sands. The opportunities we have do not end here. Many of these opportunities are on the horizon as our region is at the dawn of a new age in terms of hydrogen and renewable energy projects. The growth that will naturally come from these projects will be supported in a sustainable manner, guided by our industry-leading Gladstone Region Economic Transition Roadmap that will assist in steering our decision-making through to 2032. Council has also received a significant one-off commercial return from Gladstone Area Water Board that will be reinvested throughout the region on strategic community projects and maintenance programs. The continued investment in our region by other tiers of government will contribute to the planning the planned delivery of key capital projects, including but not limited to $4.1 million for safety sealing and upgrade on Lomead Road, $1.7 million to upgrade the Miriam Vale Community Centre, $1 million for backup generator supply at the Agnes Water wastewater treatment plant, and $573,000 to upgrade the Red Rover Road Bridge. For the 11th consecutive year, and my 8th as Mayor, I'm proud to declare that Council has no new borrowings. No new borrowings, and the delivery of a sensible surplus will see interest-bearing debt decline to $86.8 million by June 2024, a reduction of $6 million. As a council, we have always had the community at front of mind, and in 2021, we made the decision to freeze rates due to the global pandemic. And since then, we have kept rates below CPI, and this budget is no exception. With the Consumer Price Index currently sitting at 7.4%, we have once again been able to ensure the general rate increase is less than the rate of inflation. Rates for the average residential ratepayer in the Gladstone region will rise by just 4%, well below the rate of the Consumer Price Index for both Brisbane and Australia. The impact of the increases for each ratepayer will be different depending on their land valuation movement. With valuation pockets varying between suburbs and towns, the impact of the land valuation movement will continue to be buffered by the rate cap of 10% for residential purposes. Overall, rates and service charges for a residential property in Gladstone, for example, including water, sewer and waste, will increase by just 5.84%, again below the current rate of inflation. As always, Council has continued to support our pensioners in the best way we can. To ensure and encourage our pensioners continue to be independent and live in their own home, Council offers eligible pensioners a remission of $310 per annum. This is in addition to the state government pensioner concession of $200. All households receiving a domestic waste and recycling service will see a $26.80 increase for the standard 240-litre bin waste service and a 240-litre fortnightly recycling service, while there is an additional $10.60 charge on the waste management facility charge. These services have been subject to significant cost pressures during the recent financial years, in addition to the impact of the state waste levy reimbursement being phased out at the same time as the effective waste levy increases to $92 per tonne. Sewerage charges across the region for domestic services will increase by $50 per service this financial year. This has been necessary to ensure that the maintenance, provision of replacement and necessary improvement to our sewer network is substantially funded by the sewer charge without subsidy from the general rate. Base network access costs for all water will increase by $50 per service, as Council's costs have increased due to the escalating replacement costs of current infrastructure, mounting inflation and supply chain challenges. Overall, our focus for the 2023-24 operational plan and budget is to deliver projects and maintenance that will drive our region forward. We also recognise the need for a responsible budget management to ensure the region remains in a position to capitalise on future opportunities, of which there are many. These planning documents are vital to set work for Council to plan to deliver over the coming financial year, and I would like to congratulate everyone that has helped prepare this operational plan and budget, particularly our senior executive team and our finance team. It has been fantastic to see what we've been able to achieve in the past 12 months, and I'm excited to see what we can achieve as a region in 2023-2024. I look forward to working with my fellow councillors, Council's employees, our senior executive team, and again, our finance team to serve the Gladstone region, and I commend this budget to you all. Thank you. All right. Remind me, Tanya, do I need a mover for the Mayor's budget statement? Thank you. I'll move the budget statement, please. Second Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Motion's carried. We'll move to the next item on the agenda, and this is where we hand over to Mark. It's S1.2, the revenue statement. I'll hand over to the General Manager of Finance, Governance and Risk. Thank you, Mark Holmes.
Morning, Mayor. Morning, councillors. The first of our budget agenda items is our revenue statement. So we're required to adopt a revenue statement each and every year with our budget, and this essentially outlines our rating categories and how we actually go around raising what is this year $186 million worth of funding through our rates and charges to support the delivery of services. There's a couple of changes this year to the revenue statement from the previous year. Most significant ones are in and around a new category there for our rural ratepayers, particularly those large lot landholders, and also with looking at refining our water and sewerage areas as well in terms of those defined benefit areas, particularly calling out those where we just can't service those properties due to the characteristics, be it elevation or other characteristics. We've just refined those a little bit better. And we've also have just made some changes to definitions with respect to principal place of residence, but certainly commend the revenue statement to you.
Thank you, Mark. Questions to the General Manager?
Happy to move, Mayor Matt.
Seconded, Councillor Cameron. I think this is fantastic change for our, particularly around our rating category for primary production, and I commend it to the floor as well. Any discussion, questions? I put the motion. All in favour? It's carried. The next item is S1.3, long-term financial forecast. I'll hand back to you, Mark.
Again, annually we're required to adopt a long-term financial forecast, and this is obviously the opportune time to do that with your budget. So, based on the assumptions that we've adopted with our budget, but also projecting those forward with respect to our planned capital works and looking at what we need to do with respect to borrowings and other inputs to support the delivery of services in the long term. So we've incorporated that into your long-term financial forecast. It's there to essentially to guide us in future decision making. So commend that to you.
Thank you. Questions to the General Manager, please. Thank you. Move Councillor Hanson. Seconded, Councillor O'Grady. No further questions. I put the motion. All in favour? That's carried. Thank you. We now move to S1.4, the debt policy. Back to you, Mark.
So the debt policy, again, is one of those annual documents we update, but you'll note that in our long-term financial forecast, we didn't incorporate any borrowings within that for the current year, nor for any of our future periods in the 10-year forecast. So but essentially that's predicated on current expectations of infrastructure that is required for investment. So recommend that to you.
Thank you. Questions to General Manager or a mover, please. Move Councillor Branthwaite. Seconded, Councillor Cameron. Put the motion. All in favour? It's carried. Thank you. The next item is S1.5, projected financial statements for the year end 30th of June 2024. Thank you, Mark.
The financial statements that are attached to this particular report essentially forms your budget. So this is your what we manage against and report against for the financial year, and it's also what gives the power to make sure that we are investing in the longer term infrastructure as required when we enter into those longer term contracts. This also includes an estimate of where we're finishing the financial year for 22-23. So essentially, this report encompasses all that for your consideration.
Thank you. Move Councillor Trevor. Seconded, Councillor Hanson. No further questions or comments? Put the motion. All in favour? Motion's carried. The next item is S1.6, our rate payment period and discounts. Everyone likes the discounts. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item breaks down for Council essentially the head of powers for what we are allowing in terms of from a rating category and also a rating type. Essentially the periods are essentially what becomes your due dates for those, and also what services we allow discounts for. So there's no change with respect to this policy this year.
Thank you. All right, have a mover, please. Move Councillor Goodluck. Seconded, Councillor O'Grady. Put the motion. All in favour? That's carried. The next item is S1.7. It is our differential general rates. Back to you, Mark.
This report sets out, with respect to each of our 27 categories of differential general rates, essentially the definitions of each of those categories in accord with the revenue statement, but also essentially then what becomes the rate in the dollar, the minimum rate, and any rate cap that's applicable to each of those categories as well.
Okay.
Happy to move the officer's recommendation as long as I don't have to read it all out.
No, you do not. Move Councillor Churchill. Seconded, Councillor Trevor. And I'll put the motion. All in favour? It's carried. Glenn, Chris, team. Next item is S1.8, which is our waste charges. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This item essentially sets your waste charges for the year, and so you'll note there that it provides what is also our standard service there, but also provides what is those optional services that we provide to our customers, whether they want to opt in for some increased bin sizes with respect to recycling, but also those that may want to decrease the waste to landfill and have some lower bins there.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Move Councillor Hanson. Seconded. Councillor Muscat. Put the motion. All in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Next item is S1.9, our water charges. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This covers your water charges for each of our 4 principal water schemes, and also essentially all the varying meter types by which we differentiate the excess charge to each of those customers. This also includes what is essentially the unit rate, so the consumption rate for each of those schemes as well.
Okay. Any questions to the General Manager? No. I have a mover, please. Councillor O'Grady and then Councillor Cameron second. Put the motion. All in favour? It's carried. Let's see. All right. We move to the next item, which is S1.10, sewage and waste water charges.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This covers our sewage charges not only for our 3 central urban areas, so Gladstone, Boyne, Calliope and Agnes and 1770, but also covers the sewage charges that are applicable to our industrial sewage customers as well. So we separate those out and they're included in this part of the report.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions, please? No? Can I have a mover, please? Move Councillor Churchill, seconded Councillor Branthwaite. No further questions. I put the motion. All in favour? It's carried. Next item is our special charges, S1.11. Back to you, Mark.
So Council over the years has entered into several special charge agreements, which essentially has been is agreements between Council and individual users or groups of users to provide infrastructure and improvements to the community. So we have 2 special charge agreements, one with respect to Curtis Island Sewerage and also one with respect to Gladstone City Forecourt. And the relevant charges are included in this report.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Move Councillor Trevor, seconded Councillor Hanson. All in favour? Motion's carried. Next item is S1.12, rates and charges, concessions and exemptions. Our pensioners. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This item covers for your consideration our exemptions and concessions to general rates, but also some of our usage charges as well. So this extends from what is the general exemptions that are provided in the Local Government Act and explicitly calls those out, but also adds in some additional concessions that we apply via various policies, be that the rating financial hardship policy, our concealed leaks policy, and also our pensioner concession policy.
Okay. Move Councillor Trevor. Any seconder, please? Oh, thank you, Councillor Goodluck. Sorry, I forgot you were there sometimes. He's very close there. I'm looking around here. Okay, thank you, Councillor Goodluck. It's seconded for our rates and charges, concessions and exemptions. Put the motion. All in favour? That is carried. Thank you. S1.13, fees and charges for the 2023-2024 financial year. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, councillors. This is a comprehensive list of all those essentially other services we provide to the community that essentially we charge essentially as a fee for service. So it's essentially paid on an ad hoc basis as our community utilises those services. So this incorporates all those fees and charges and is for your consideration.
Thank you. I have a mover, please. Move Councillor Hanson, seconded Councillor O'Grady. All in favour? It's carried. Thank you. And the last item is the S1.14, which is the Operational Plan and Budget Adoption 2023-2024. I'll hand over to you, Carly.
Thank you. So we're now entering the 3rd year of our 5-year corporate plan, and we've identified 9 priority initiatives to complete, and that's in addition to our 50 core services that we deliver year in and year out. The theme this year is once again proudly GRC, which is a purposeful focus on supporting our people to deliver quality services for the region and supporting council to be a place that our people enjoy coming to work every day, where we can be proud of what we do for our community. All 9 priority initiatives are listed in there, and there's a great video that will be provided online later today if the community are interested in those. We commend the report to you.
Thank you. I'd like to move this. And I have a seconder in the Deputy Mayor. Thank you. Is there any further questions or comments? I would like to make a statement. Obviously, I've already made a statement, but that's, following very time-approved statements for council. But this is the last budget for this council, and I want to take the opportunity firstly to thank my fellow councillors, particularly Deputy Mayor, obviously, been a fantastic support during this term. And council, I think we have delivered 4 budgets, all under CPI and one with a rate freeze. That is an outstanding effort, and it is because we have the most amazing staff that have been able to support us. And I want to talk particularly about Mark in our finance team, and to Jess and Elise and everyone in the finance team, but I want to single those 2 ladies out, as well as our Chief Financial Officer, because without them, this budget process wouldn't have been able to be done the way it has been done. We have been very fortunate with our Gladstone Water Board dividends that have been coming back to our community for a number of years, and as an extraordinary funding amount this year, which we will, as we said, we will allocate at a later time. But headed up by Lisa, our senior executive team, and everyone who works for council, I just want to say thank you, because this has been a fantastic 4-year term. This as Rick reminded me just before, this is my 24th budget. And I can tell you, even though it's not a rate freeze, it is 4% for a general rate on the back of 4 budgets, one with a rate freeze and all under CPI, is something we should be very, very proud of, and I certainly am. And thank you to our team, and I know our media and communications team are going to do an amazing job getting it out to the community to understand exactly what this means for them. And again, of course, with the fluctuations in valuations, our rate cap means no one's rates will go up by more than 10%. We have no new borrowings for 11 years and 8 consecutive years since I've been sitting in the chair as mayor. I think we've done extremely well. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you to our entire team. And with that, I declare the meeting closed. Oh, sorry, got to vote on it. We better do that.
We need to adopt that.
Okay, let's vote on it.
This is the most important one.
Thank you. I moved and seconded. All in favour? The motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. I declare the meeting closed. Thank you, Lisa.